Hey, there we are. Cool. Thanks, Mike.
Let me see whether anybody's here.
I think we've got a couple people on.
Yeah, that's nice.
Well, I reckon we just get going.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Seas of Havoc stream. I'm Sebastian.
And I'm Peter.
We're the two designers of the game. This is my first time streaming. I've never done this before. It's very exciting.
And it's also my first time streaming, and this is my hokey setup that I cobbled together from webcams and everything. So if anything doesn't work, let us know in the chat. It may well not.
For sure. And aside from the stream itself, if you had questions about the game, because we're planning to play a game and maybe answer any questions if there are any as we go along. But do feel free to leave them in the chat and we'll try to figure out which screen to look at.
Yeah, and we'll try to remember you guys are down there,
get to
not
you.
up there, even though we can see ourselves up there. And hi, John.
Cool.
Yeah, so feel free to use the chat. This is supposed to be interactive. We have some extra material to show off if we get to it. But mainly, I think we're going to just play a two-player game, talk our way through it. Sebastian's going to start with a little bit of an overview, and then we'll see how it goes. I guess maybe I should say we just finished, before we started streaming, an experimental version of a co-op game against two ghost ships, two players against two ghost ships. And it was pretty good, actually. So we might include that as a variant. We'll take some tweaking of the scores, I think, but it was fun. So that's good to see.
Definitely something we'll look into. But this one's going to be head-to-head. Normally in Seas of Havoc, in a 3, 4, or 5 player game, you're controlling a single ship. And your goal is to sail around the seas here and fire your cannons at other ships. The way you're moving around the board is through a use of a deck of cards. So for instance, you might play a card like this, which would let you move forwards a space, or you might play a card like this here, which would let you turn, or move forwards and turn. And then we also have things like cannon fire. So that's kind of the idea. You sail around, you fire at other ships, you're trying to gain infamy, which is scored all around the track over here. And the symbol for infamy is skulls. So if ever you see that on our cards as we go. And then the neat thing about it is each setup is going to be different. At the beginning of the game, you're choosing one ship to sail, and you're also choosing one captain to sail that ship. So the ship you choose, which is this one here, is what's going to determine your starting maneuvers. So Peter's got a handful here. He's got the sloop. It's a lot more maneuverable than, say...
And you can see that it corresponds in color to my purple ship.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to be controlling green because, purple and green are my favorite colors.
That's right. In a two-player game, you're actually controlling two ships. So I'm the two warm colors here, red and yellow. Anyways, you choose your ship and you choose your captain who has their own unique ability. So in my case, I'm playing as the merchant, which will let me have an easier time at buying things because I can use coins to buy, or coins as any other resource in the game.
And I'm going to be playing as the rebel, which lets me discard and draw a card during the island phase, which we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, I suppose we should probably get to that. All of this card play stuff, that's happening during the sea phase, but before every sea phase is an island phase, wherein players get to place their skiffs, which are these smaller little ships, at the different docks around the archipelago here, gathering resources. So you might go over to the blacksmith and collect a few cannons, or cannonballs, which you'll store on your player mat over here. The other resources are some sails, which are the ship's wheels, are indicated by the ship's wheels, and there's coins. Resources is one thing you can grab, and the reason you'll do that is because you want to eventually purchase cards down here in the market. So you can also place a skiff to claim a card for purchase, saying that you're going to buy it and eventually go spend those resources you've earned to take that card and then add it into your hand so you can use it to fire on your opponent. Cool. The last thing is that we've got these little flags up here, which are, again, a spot you can go at with your skiff. And these unlock secondary abilities to the cards in your market if you have the corresponding flag. But I figure we just dive in, and we'll probably get the gist of it as we get.
Yeah,
moving
we'll
on.
try to talk through, things as we do them. We should say this is on Kickstarter right now, which is very exciting for us. And it'll be published by Rock Manor Games. The Kickstarter is doing well so far, so that's very exciting. And maybe we'll talk a little bit later about how we met Mike, the owner of Rock Manor, and I'm sure he's probably in the chat too. So if you have questions for him, you can fire them off there. All right, so
Got these ones.
we don't actually have damage cards.
Oh, yeah, damage is right over
Oh,
here. Not bad. So the game clock is the damage deck there. As we go through the course of the game, we'll deal them to each other, and when there's no more left, that's the end of the game.
yeah, and so like Sebastian was saying, we start by pretty standard deck building, except for that our decks aren't the same to start. So I'm shuffling in here the 2 rebel cards with my ship cards, and then drawing 4.
Cool. So this is the first player marker. I've got it right now.
Wait,
and-
what did you do?
Well, I just took it.
Designers. Never play
Um,
against the designer.
so I'm going first, and I am going to. Oh, I don't deserve all these yet, but I will go to the blacksmith. Take them now. 2 cannons for me.
Okay. I'm actually look at what's out here. Yeah, so one of the things you can consider right away, right, is like what cards are available in the market here and what resources might I need to purchase any of them. And some of these look pretty sweet. So I am going to go to the bank and take a money and let's say a sale. Actually, no, I'm gonna take a can.
Okay. I think I'm going to take this yellow flag. So, in taking the flag, I get to use the ability that's associated with it. In this case, it'll let me draw an extra card.
Okay. So now I don't actually need to have the resources before I reserve a card, but I have them now. Should I have started with the money actually?
Yeah, you should have 2 now.
Ah,
There you
I
go.
didn't need those resources. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But now I'll claim it. I could have claimed it beforehand, gotten the resources later, or I could just claim it and not buy the card, just to prevent Sebastian from buying it or anything.
Not to me then. I'm going to do a bit of a wacky first turn here. No, let's play it simple. I'm going to claim a card.
I'm going to go for a different flag. And so this is also something to note, which I think which we've had in the game for a long time, which is sort of fun. As opposed to normal deck building games, the cards we're going to buy, they're going to go into our hand, so we can use them in the sea phase that's coming up. And I claim the card with the green symbol on it, so I'm going to claim the green flag now, which also lets me get another resource. And which I will claim a sale this time.
Cool.
Okay.
Out of skiffs. So we'll resolve all of our purchases. In this case, I'm going to pay 1 cannonball for that card.
Okay, so I'm paying a sale and the money. And again, these go into our hands. And then the other skiffs just come back.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you may notice Peter and I have different sized hands now. I've got 6 cards, whereas Peter's only got 5, which does mean I will have more turns in this next phase here. And what I'll do with them...
I don't even know where I am here. You should probably look at where you are on the seaboard before you buy random cards, but you know.
Okay. I'm going to go forwards with this ship here.
Okay. I am going to... I'm gonna play this here. This is a simple turn. Whoa, glare. And I'll go into the gust here. And then these are sort of a recent reveal. We used to just have rocks, which you don't want to hit. These are other sea features, and what the gust does if you end up on it after you play the card, it moves you in the direction of the gust one. So I'll move over there.
I know. Okay. Nothing terribly exciting. I'm going to turn. So, same card as what Peter had played earlier. Only this time I'm moving on to what we call a shipwreck token. When you move over a shipwreck, the shipwreck, you flip it over, and it goes into your hull. You're salvaging it. This is different than what you might have read, those of you who've read the rule books ahead of time. It's just something we're trying out for this stream here. So I've got 2 cannons in my hold, which I can spend at any time, but I can't take any more shipwrecks until I spend it. Once you take a shipwreck, another gets revealed, so that's why I've rolled the dice. It says it's going in position 3 and 5, like that. You're up.
Okay. I'm going to move 1 forward. This guy.
Great. All right. So this card is the cannon fire card. Keep doing upside down. There you go. This is the cannon firing card. In order to fire the cannon, I have to spend a cannonball. This red ship is firing over at this purple ship. In the game, your cannons fire from the sides of your ship. They can't go forwards or backwards. And they all have a different range. In this case, the shot was a range of 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. That's already hit you. So let's spend the cannon. When you hit somebody, they take a damage card into their discard pile. And you're going to score infamy based on where you hit them. So in my case, I'm scoring 2 infamy because I've hit his ship from the side. If I was to hit the bow or the stern, so the front or the back, you're scoring 3 infamy for that raking shot. So that's that. Oh, except, just to add on a little extra, the card I played was a yellow card, or a tan card rather, which matches the flag that I own. And that lets me use the secondary ability on it, which was to draw a card. So I'll do that.
Okay, and I will of course fire right back.
Makes sense.
Spend a cannon.
Damage to me.
2 points.
All right. Okay, I'll put a little pressure on you, Peter. I'm going to turn the red ship onto the gust, which blows me immediately behind you.
I see how it is.
Setting up for that 3-point shot now.
And I just realized that there's a rock in my way that I didn't. So, did you mention the seaboard wrapping? I don't know.
No, I haven't.
So, this is actually something we struggled with during the design for a long time. For a long time, there were rules about what happened if you ran into the edge of the board and you would like get bounced back or you would get the rest of your maneuver. And what kept happening, not always, but there were games where 3 players were battling it out over here, and somebody who had not played the game before would, meander off into a corner and bounce around there, and then realize that this is a really bad idea because it's not how you win the game.
Yeah.
And then have to make their way all the way back over, and just felt out of the game. And we had like a couple of solutions that you would get extra movement when you were far away, and it all was, not that great, honestly. And then I think you came up with this idea, which is crazy, but that the seaboard just wraps. So if I go forward here, I'll actually reappear right here. And similarly, if I'm here and Sebastien shoots, he'll go straight through the board and hit me in the back here. And I didn't plan very well because I'm lined up with a rock and I don't have, and I just played my only turn. That would easily get me out of this, which wasn't so great an idea. But before I give him the points, it might be worth still getting out of it. Oh no, I can't though, can
Yeah,
I?
you're stuck anyways. I do only have one cannonball left, so Peter knows I can only shoot him one
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah. But I think this might still be worth it. So I am going to ram that rock. I'm going to pay for the extra maneuver. So, okay, I should explain that. So I bought this crazy card last round, which again went right into my hand. And you can see, if I can get rid of the glare.
There.
So it's just a simple forward, but then optionally I can pay a sail and do the extra maneuver, which is sort of like a tacked on forward or turn after the normal forward. And note it's a green card, and I took the green flag. So I'm going to pay for this extra maneuver, and I'm actually going to go forward twice and ram into this rock. It's not so good. I do take a damage for this. Oh, and I have to discard a card. It's also not so good, but still, I decided to do it. And I will turn so that Sebastian can only hit my side, not my back. And I do get a resource for that though, because I have the green flag.
All right. Well, I've got 3 cards left, which means I've got 3 turns left. And Peter's a sitting duck for me, based from that last maneuver.
Don't play like I do. That's what he said.
And he's going to pay for it. I'm going to fire my cannon once. Again, red ship, shooting through the map. To you, Peter. There's the cannonball spent. Take 2 infamy for that. And what to do with my last few? Do I get fancy? No, not yet. Let's take it simple this round. I'm going to use my ability, which does let me buy a card from the market. But I'll save that for later. For now, I'll just use it to gain a resource, which is its second option there. And the resource I'll gain is a cannonball.
So to point out, that is your character's ability card.
That's right. This is specific to the merchant. Timely trading, which lets you purchase a card during the sea phase, where normally you wouldn't be able to. My last card here is a forward, which I'll use just for the heck of it, into the whirlpool, which will spin me 90 degrees at the end of that card.
Okay.
So that's the sea phase. We're transitioning back to the island phase, and so we'll draw 4 cards from our deck. If you don't have enough in your deck, in my case here, you'll shuffle the discard pile, becomes your new deck, and then you'll take whatever remains. Currently, I'm still first player. I'm still holding on to the compass here. Peter could take it from me if he went over to the capital, which lets you take first player from the current owner. Right. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go claim this card here.
Should be first player. I don't want that. Fine. Claim this.
Gonna load up on cannonballs again.
I'm going to grab your flag.
Taking it from me this time, given it's not on the board anymore.
And so because I did that, I get to draw a card. I'm also going to use my rebel ability. I'm going to discard a card to draw a card.
I'm just going to go to the bank. I'm going to take 1 coin and any other resource, so I'll take another coin, given my merchant will let me buy things using coins regardless of what they cost.
I'll go to the capital. Yoink. And I need a seal, sadly. Okay. Nobody's chatting. I hope somebody's watching this. If you have any questions, ask us questions.
That's all right. So, resolving our purchases. This card that I claimed costs 1 sail and 2 cannonballs. I'm gonna use the shipwreck that I salvaged and spend the 2 cannonballs from that, as along with one of my sails there. Again, the card's going straight into my hand.
Just checking in with Mike to make sure it's actually visible what we're doing here. We're not actually online or something. And I need to pay my 2 sails and cannon. This.
Alrighty, you're a new first player.
I am the new first player, aren't I? Okay. So now I think I understand these gusts correctly. They're new to me. So I'm going to play this. This nice card here, which is again a double maneuver. Lets me go forward, shoot, and then optionally keep going, but I don't have the sails to keep going. That's okay. So I'm going to go forward and shoot.
Yeah, all right.
And I can hit Sebastien, again, wrapping around the board, and get 3 points for that. And then because I'm on a gust, I get moved forward. And I get to draw a card. Because I have the flag.
Okay. Let's sail off this whirlpool. And right over here. I feel safe. I know Peter could shoot me, but I also know he doesn't have any cannonballs left.
That's where he's wrong.
Oh.
So this is one of my special character abilities, which is retaliation. I get to scrap a damage card, which I kept drawing for because I didn't have one, from my hand or a discard pile. I will do that. And then if I do, I may fire a cannon range 3 without spending cannonballs, so I will hit green, actually.
Green's you.
Green's me? Damn it, green's me. I'll hit you. For 2.
Great. Yeah, I'll take that damage.
I guess that doesn't count as a fire card, does it, though?
No, yeah. I see what you're
That'd be
planning.
a cool combo.
Some synergies there. All right. Well, I got myself here so I could fire, and I'll do just that. Red is firing over here at your ship, Peter, and I'm scoring 3 infamy.
I see how it is. No.
Yeah, Tomer, I also really like the retaliate card. Everything the rebels got is actually is a lot of fun to play.
I quite like the rebel. Sorry, I'm a bit undecided here as to. I can't really easily get out of. Well, maybe I should try to get out of your way in some way here. So go that way. All right, maybe I'll just do that. At least have you shoot my other ship. That's fine. Sure.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to use another one of my abilities. This one is barter, which lets me spend, as the merchant, resources in order to gain infamy. So I'm trading my resources for infamy. So I'm going to spend 1 coin, which trades in for 3 infamy.
Okay, I will play the card I played last time, and move forward, and gain a cannon.
Because of the green flag.
Because of the green flag, yes.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. I've got this one here. Ooh. It's forwards fire, and then I can extend for another forwards fire. I'm just going to go forwards once. Fire through the map over to you, Peter, and take 2 infamy.
Well, my newly acquired cannonball, I will fire and get 3.
Thanks. My last card isn't going to be really helpful for me. It's just a mover forwards 1 space. So I'm just going to pass with it.
And I have my other special character card, Improvisation, which lets me play a card in my discard pile again, as essentially a sailing pivot or a firing card. And it also activates the flag ability again, as far as I know. So I have to decide which one I want to do. I want to do one of my flags, so I could draw another card, or I could get a resource. Otherwise, they do very similar things, given that I don't have a resource. So I think I'm just going to grab the resource. So I will move forward and grab cannon.
Okay, we got a question about the Ship of the Line's heavy guns upgrade. So that's my ship right now. It runs very counter to what you normally want with the merchant, which is why I picked it. Just to add a little extra challenge. So besides the +1 infamy for every ship you hit, do you get the normal infamy as well? Yes, you do. So maybe what I'll try to do is get this upgrade in the next island phase, and I'll explain how it all works from there, and hopefully line up a shot or 2 at Peter so we can see it in action. We are in the island phase right now.
Yes.
So I'll drop my new hand. And Peter is our new first player. Oof.
I agree. They shot me, apparently. Okay, so I am indeed first player. I will grab another 2 cannonballs.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I have a discarded card and draw a card. No rebel ability.
Ability, all right. That's fine. I'm going to go to Deep Cove, which lets me scrap cards from my hand or discard pile. In this case, I'm getting rid of 2 damage cards from my discard pile. If I was to scrap cards that had a cost to them, I would gain those resources back. Unfortunately, this time I'm just healing up for the future turn.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna grab first player? I shouldn't signal, should I? You think he's gonna grab first player? Oh well.
I'll say nothing.
I'll say nothing.
Okay. I mean, I gave you a pretty big signal of what I was going to do earlier there. I don't know if you caught it.
I don't know if I did. Oh, like your whole tirade about how you're going to use your ability just to show our crowd how awesome it is?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to the green flag. Yeah, I'm going to take that from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take the cannon ball.
Yeah. Go to the bank. Money. And do I need to say? No, I'm just stuck up on cannons.
Okay. This I might just have to wait on the upgrade, folks. I'm sorry. Instead, I'm gonna take the first player. No. You take your other flag, Peter.
What?
Draw a card.
Well, good thing I don't have. I shouldn't tell you anything, but I don't actually have any cards that interact with flags, so you're welcome.
That's alright.
All right, we're done.
Done,
So I
done.
need to pay 2 cannonballs. I guess I'm still first player. Wow. Didn't totally expect to be, but guess you're gonna cost me resources. Still seems worth it though. I'm gonna fire 2.
Ooh, double shot.
A double shot.
Nice.
I was hoping to get one back, but
Nope.
sadly not. And that's 6 for me.
Big turn there. Okay. Well. Let's say I'm gonna sail over here.
Yeah. Love a shipwreck too, but somehow I'm not lining myself up very well for them. Hopefully the next one appears somewhere better for me. Oh, I don't know.
Pressure's on. I have to take it now unless I want you to get it. So I'll do that. Forwards one. And reveal. Double crowns into the hold.
Well,
Crowns, coins, same thing.
I'm gonna ram you here. And reorient this one.
To me,
And so I have to discard a card because I did that.
yeah, you're simulating slowing down there. We got a question. What other games inspired you when designing this one? Like for different mechanics or themes? Well, big inspiration for this game came from some design guidelines Peter gave.
I guess it wasn't inspiration, it was demand.
Peter was teaching a course at Simon Fraser University in game design. And me and a team of others, this was, well, a version of this game was what we came up with. We called it Sloops at the time. The assignment was to create a game that had deck building and worker placement mechanics. And it was really about like how the design development. So how are you making decisions on what a game looks like rather than actually what the finished product is. So those restraints were really part of what started this.
Yeah, so to note, I gave this assignment long before any combination deck building and worker placement game existed.
I think this was 2013 maybe.
2013, yeah. It's pretty funny now because everybody's like, oh yeah, you stole all of that from like Lost Ruins of Arnak. It's like, we really didn't.
Or at least that's similar to it, yeah. The naval combat aspect, I kind of added on. I was working on if you remember, Flash games on the computer. I was working on one where it was a top-down like naval combat game, and just wanted to keep working in that world. So we kind of ported that theme into the worker placement and deck building, and figured card play was a great way to decide how you're moving your ship, and you needed resources to fire your cannons or to move around. So that was
yeah. So I mean,
together.
concretely, I think your class played like a lot of, people in the class. Obviously, this was a general game design class, video games and board games, and a lot of people had never played any kind of modern board game, honestly. So they didn't know what deck building was or worker placement or anything like that. So I think we played Dominion and Lords of Waterdeep, And then I gave them this project to say like, okay, now you have some basic understanding of deck building and worker placement. These are the elements. Try to come up with something new that combines the two. And a lot of groups did either just that, and that's fine, and I think when you guys first submitted this, it didn't do worker placement really. I think everybody had
It's
their
more
own.
like action selection.
Yeah, everybody had their own ship, and it didn't work very well. And then there was this whole sea battle thing that was totally extraneous to the assignment. And I was like, okay, get rid of the sea battle thing, understand worker placement. Is my doorbell?
I
I
can.
assume Sydney.
Okay, good. See.
And yeah, then you guys went back and revised it and kept, luckily didn't listen to me and kept the whole sea battle thing. And I don't know, I think what draws a lot of people, including me too, is these cards, these movement cards that actually work. It's really fun to play them and to move around and shoot each other. So it was a good combination of strategy through deck building and going for a certain type of deck, and yet total chaos in the on the sea, which I don't know, it's been really fun to develop. You should go and check out the Sebastien wrote I think the second one of his blog posts on the Board Game Geek page for this game is sort of a little history of how the game came about, including some old prototypes, which we actually have here. Just I don't know.
While
Just
we're
for
on
kicks,
the ramble,
while we're on the
anyways.
ramble. So this is, it always had a seaboard. Looked a little bit different back then. This is not the first one. This is probably the third one.
Yeah, here's the old archipelago map, which was just an island at the time. Oh gosh, I can't quite fit it in the frame, and it's upside down.
And
You get the idea.
I do recommend, which we always used to do, if you get the game, you find some real rocks, to ram into. It's just far more fun.
They cost too much for shipping though, so
Yeah, we're not going to ship you rocks.
find your own.
And then I don't know, at various stages we had like went and
3D
3D printed. So what's the first use of a 3D printer was to print ships for this game. That was in 2015 or something like that. And then Sebastian has gone through many iterations of these card designs. But you can see, at least this is from what, 2015, so probably this was what we used to submit to contests. And you can see like in spirit, not that much has changed in design. It looks a bit different now, but yeah, it's fun to look back. And again, there's a whole diary on Board Game Geek.
Yeah, and maybe just to tag on, one other influence was Star Realms, especially with the colors and the combinations.
Yeah, so originally we didn't have the colors at all, and it felt like something was lacking. And then Star Realms had come out 2 years before that, and it was like, oh, and then we just added the colors the same way that Star Realms has them, and it works. But then Sebastian at some point came up with the idea of these sort of temporary colors with the flags that integrates it better, I think, into the worker placement mechanism than just the colors on the cards, and that's been really cool.
And then, yeah, finally, for the skirmish thing and the infinite map, I would say asteroids.
Really?
Yeah, that's what made me think about, because I was actually making another Flash game that had a similar thing going to asteroids. And I was like,
I had not thought of that, but it does work that way. Yeah.
So yeah, lots of little things are taken. I would say a lot of the basics from a lot of different games, which when you put a lot of basics together does get a little heavier, but thankfully it still makes this a nice, easy learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It has some unique elements too that I've always appreciated that I haven't actually seen in that many games. Like it's very flexible in how long the game is, because you could just play with fewer damage cards or play with all the damage cards and make it longer, and it works. There's more strategy obviously if you're playing a long game, because you can spend more time deck building. But if you just want to like super short skirmish, you can take out 5 or 10, and it's very quick. So I don't know, it's neat that way. Yeah. And then Sebastian also, to point out, came up with a whole solo variant which will ship with the game. And like I said, that's fun. I don't play a lot of solo games, but I play one of them. It's pretty good. But we just played it as a co-op game, which somebody on Board Game Geek, I think on the Kickstarter actually suggested. Is this? Can you? Well, no, they asked, when you're playing with 2 players like we are, could you just add in ghost ships? And yeah, of course you can. You can play with 1 ship each and add in 2 ghost ships, which is from the solo campaign, solo mode. But then I was like, well, you could really just play the solo mode with 2 players against 2 ghost ships, and you have a co-op game. And we just tried it, and yeah,
It's actually
it
really
works.
sweet.
So it's pretty.
Some fun planning ahead there.
It's actually less upkeep than the solo game, or feels like less upkeep, because each player can be responsible for 1 ghost ship and their own ship, and so it plays really quickly.
I'm gonna take a turn, Peter.
Whoa. All right.
I'm going to use my captain's ability, timely trading, this time to actually pick up a card from the market. So I'm going to purchase this one here. I'll pay 1 cannon for it. I'm going to pay 1 coin for it, actually, because I can as the merchant. Go straight into my hand, so you know what's coming.
Guess I'm passing. I don't have cannons.
All right. I do have cannons.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, we haven't. I think Mike, our publisher, has sent a bunch of options from various games, including Res Arcana, and things that have like half rounded or a quarter rounded, I don't know, things to the manufacturer to see what they can do. I think it'd be nice if they were rounded.
We'll see what comes
We'll
of it.
see
We'll see what
comes-
options
yeah,
they're able
we'll see
to,
what they can do.
have for us. I'm going to shoot you, Peter.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And the cannonball. And then it's this red one shooting at green, so 2 infamy. Got 2 more cards. The other one's another fire, the one I just bought. Spend the cannonball, gain 2 infamy.
good, is it?
I'm catching back up.
Yeah, no, my last turn was good. But this
It
one,
has
not so
the
much.
green flag secondary effect, which I own because I took it from you, so I'm getting my cannonball back. And I'm just going to repair it damage. So let's grab that. Okay.
All right, we are back to the island phase.
This is a heavy damage game.
Yeah. We're racing through this. Wow. But that's good.
Mhm.
Okay, so got here. We'll use my ability right away to discard and draw. Okay. I guess I'm still starting player.
Yeah, go for it.
Nice. I would like my flag back. And gaining that, I guess I'll also gain a cannonball. I guess I should do some ship upgrades, shouldn't I? That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna plan my turn around what I can buy. So rather than claiming a card here, I'm gonna do restock, which removes all of these and then puts out 5 new cards. Or it would take away all the ones that weren't claimed yet. And then send some new ones out. I'm gonna go for, I've got the green flag now. Feel like I want this one.
Okay. Well, I think I have to make sure stay in play.
Keeping first player makes sense given where you are. 2 cannonballs for me.
I would love to work on upgrades, but I don't have time for that. I need to shoot.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to put out a shipwreck earlier.
Oh yeah,
6-1.
that's fun about getting shipments.
Yeah.
Holding them.
I'm scanning you.
We don't have any trading posts in this version anymore. They're all only for 2 players. I didn't totally realize. Was it always the case? No, right? At some point,
It
it was
wasn't always the case.
Well.
Okay. And... Sorry.
What do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I might end this round.
Yep.
If we keep going this way.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
I
missed my
mean, we
opportunity to
set up for a quick one, but
yeah.
there we are. 2 points.
Okay. That's that.
That's that.
I'm not buying anything. Maybe I should have.
There you go. Yeah, when you buy cards, you'll notice on them they have those little skulls we were talking about earlier. So by purchasing cards, you're also gaining infamy.
I'm not doing that enough.
Another way to progress
Mm-hmm.
or to up your score.
I'm going for the full damage shooting strategy here, but I'm not sure it's working out that well. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to do this again.
The double shot.
Double shot.
And bam.
6. And I will gain. Oh, do I think there's another phase here? Maybe. Yeah. I'll keep getting cannonballs. Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I'm a sitting duck. What do we got? You got so many cannonballs.
I'll be a sitting duck when he's done playing his cards, though. Look at all the cards.
Alright, I'm turning. I'm out of here.
Ah.
Through the map.
Well, I think it's still worth it. I'm going to improvise that card again. Sadly not for 6, but
No.
4.
Green flag, right?
And green flag. Get a cannon back. All cannonballs all the time.
Yes, alright. Oh. I think I need to do this first. Let's fire a cannon. Red to green, 2 and me. Oop. Given it was tan and I have the tan flag, I'm drawing a card.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. 2. I guess this isn't over unless you no, you're gonna do 1 damage to me at least, right?
We could always extend a little while if you wanted.
No.
I think this is fine for a stream anyways.
Yeah.
You get the idea. I'm gonna use cannon fire. Let's just do it. We'll end it here.
There it is.
So last damage has been dealt. If any more damage was to go out to players, we would use the ones we've scrapped. But we do keep playing out the game. Yeah, or the ones
Yeah,
from the
we'll
box.
include I don't know how many extra damage cards to make for longer games if you want to.
Mm-hmm. 2 points.
Once
You're up.
and we'll scrap the damage.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. Well, I've got a
Epic.
last few things to do here. Move forwards. Oh, I've already got. I take that back. Not that it really matters. I'll use barter to spend a coin to gain 3 infamy. 1, 2, 3.
With your cards, you might have it.
Repair at damage. And move forwards. I'll have 2 in my hold, so I'd have to pick 1 to keep and 1 to get rid of. I'll probably get rid of that one. And that's game. A very short one this time, just to give you the taste.
So let's do the scoring.
Yeah. So look for cards
So-
you've purchased.
So first, I'll take all my damage here, which I have quite a bit. Oh boy, I dealt some too, right? So 3, 5.
How did you ever? That last round was great for you.
Okay, and then I have. So we're just counting the skulls here. So 4, 7.
Cool. I would be gaining 6, cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tied with you, but I got a load of damage. I got 7. So I'm
Big
going right
guns.
back down.
So that was a nice combo. I don't know if I've done that before, but the like double green shot with the green flag where you get the cannonball back
It's pretty sweet.
and you're just sitting there.
And I was just sitting there. I should have done something about it.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet though. That was a lot of points.
Um,
I thought you had me there when we were tied, but then it's like, nope, if you're still sitting there, I can do it. That's
Man,
cool.
my mind, this streaming thing, how people focus on their games and comments at the same
Yeah, I
time
know.
is beyond me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh, gotta take it that big. So okay, yeah. I mean that's us. Anything we wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about? So I mean, I have to show you this just because I think it's funny. So in 2016 we did submit the prototype we showed you down there, the old one. Oh, we should say that this is obviously a prototype,
right.
a preview copy. This isn't even what will be on the box. You can see the box in the corner of the screen there. I actually like both quite a bit. You know,
It's upside
all
down.
right, down again. Sorry, I rotated the camera because I thought it was more intuitive, but then you keep. I actually quite like this too. I mean, the other one, I think it's fun because it has all the characters in it and it portrays the sense of havoc better. But I like how clean this is actually. So, I don't know. It'll be in there somewhere too.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a few things
Yeah.
that will change is like right now we've been playing with the ships laying down, but you can expect them to be thicker, and so you'd actually be able to stand them up, and it makes a little more sense when you're.
I don't actually know. Are they going to be double-sided? Maybe Mike can chime in. I assume they're going to have printing on both sides.
I
Would
believe so.
be nice, right? Let's do that. These are really nice already. I hope they're
Flags
gonna
are
be
awesome.
as nice in the final one. Yeah.
Yeah, and these cards are meant to slip inside the boards, but given this is just a real like
Yeah, and I guess I should also point out, like the board. You know, while the design is pretty final, this obviously isn't wearing very well. This is the copy that Mike took to PAX Unplugged, and it's been shipped several times.
Yeah.
And it's not coated or anything, so that's why this doesn't look so great anymore. But
yeah, it's just ink on paper
it's
that
just-
is gonna wear right now, but final product.
Yeah, and other than that, I think most of the other stuff is close-ish. We've had requests for upgrading the dice. I don't know if people can chime in. I mean, I get the idea, and it'd be nice to have like skulls on these or something like that. They're not used a lot, as you can see, and I think using an actual skull might be confusing because then it looks like you would gain points from it or something, which you don't. But on the other hand, it'd be sort of fun, and it's not hard to include, some other dice. So we'll see about that. Yeah, but so to talk about the old prototype, I just wanted to mention because it's so fun. We did submit it to a couple of award competitions, and we got we shipped it to Cardboard Edison. And Canada Post took like a month to get it there, and it didn't actually enter the competition, but we at least made it into the final round before we had to actually ship the game. We recorded a video. It's on the BGG page, or it's linked from one of the diaries to it from the historical one. But we did win the Canadian Game Design Award, and the best. No, that's awesome itself. That was really fun. But the coolest thing is that they have, I think, a person who's, I guess, a woodcarver who makes you a plaque, and Sebastien sees this for the first time, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it came to me and I kept it, and I sent him a photo, and he thought it was like a plaque.
I thought it was tiny.
No,
This thing's massive.
it's a plaque. Like it's like a full-sized hockey puck with a Canadian flag on it. It is rather
Wild.
impressive. It's pretty wild. Yeah. Anyway, so I just have to show that off because it's sitting somewhere on my shelf. Nobody ever sees it, so it's
There you go.
It's just a pretty fun
I
thing.
think the world can see it.
All right, yeah, I mean, we should probably wrap it up. Thank you to Mike, our publisher, and Rock Manor Games for making this all possible. We're super grateful. It's been really fun to finally, after so many years, see this come to fruition and be so far pretty successful. People seem to like it, so that's awesome. And we hope it'll keep going that way, and we'll get an actual production copy and be able to play our own game as a production thing. That's pretty exciting. So thanks all for joining in. And I think we covered everything we wanted to cover mostly, right? So
I
cool.
think so. Yeah.
All right. Talk to everybody later.
Goodbye.
And obviously, feel free to ask us questions on the Kickstarter campaign if you're backing or not on Board Game Geek. We're pretty responsive over there. No problem. All right, how do we stop streaming at this thing?